Hi, Sarah. Welcome to my podcast. I am very excited to speak to you today. You are based in Europe, in Spain. Is that correct?
Yes, hello, how are you? Yeah, I'm based in Madrid.
Yes, that's what I thought. So you run the most well-known film marketing consultancy in Europe. You worked with over 50 clients in Spain and internationally. It's called the Film Agency. You're basically living my dream life with us. And so I can't wait to speak to you today and learn more. You have an impressive educational background that very much
Thank you.
lends itself to this industry and for both a production and a marketing point of view. Do you want to share how you got into the film industry?
Sure, absolutely. Thank you for the kind words. It's been a bumpy road, so I'm happy to hear this looks like a dream. It's not always the case. Sure, I studied marketing, communication, and advertisement. I'm from Colombia, so this is like a career mix, and I ended up doing also like a specialization in audiovisual, and from there I wanted to basically work on advertisement for film from the beginning, and started to work in short films of my mates. And I also worked in a launching a film festival and a first company there where we worked with product placement and promotion, and then wanted to explore a bit more. So I went to live in France, where I did a master degree in communication and management, and then went to work on sales for a co-production office in Paris, where I learned basically this trade of international sales and marketing, and came to Spain to work in distribution. And from there, because also of the crisis that was very, very deep at that moment in 2010, I started to look for other opportunities, and decided to launch the company.
Most entrepreneurs tend to spot a gap in the market or have a successful product market fit because they understand the pain points of that industry. What were some of these when you started out?
Yes, I have to say that has been like an important cornerstone of the whole project. Since I worked in sales and distribution, I think the gap is a very precise and accurate word for what was going on, because everyone was or is still doing their own marketing for their own means, and it's sometimes
And
very,
still
very
now, yeah.
Absolutely. And it's like a short term vision from producers to sell to a sales agent, from sales agents to sell to a buyer, a distributor, from that distributor to get their audience only in their territory, and
Yeah.
so on and so forth. And the audience feels like really far from a lot of the marketing efforts we
Yeah.
do. And it feels like a target that along the way gets lost. So the idea with the film agency is to bridge those gaps, to work more and more with projects where producers, sales agents, and distributors are involved and share a goal, or at least create a synergy in that sense.
Also,
So that was it.
don't you feel something I feel? I worked on two indie film marketing projects with America, but don't you feel that if you look at it, most indie films, and usually there's a budget concern or it's a resources thing, they start way too late with the marketing.
Absolutely.
And this should be like almost a slow burn, like a kind of ramp up way from the beginning. I mean, I'd love to see an Instagram post with the first script, that hits the table. You almost want to be on this journey together with them for like a year at least, right? What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. Actually, our first service involved, and what we sold first against all odds, it's a service called Think Early, which actually helps you to establish an audience driven strategy from the start, from development stage. You don't need to communicate right away, because that also can be very risky, but you can work on paper in the same way you work on a script or in characters or on a pre production. and financing, marketing is like a crucial part. So you have to think about it and prepare. So that's an important way, like of thinking, and an important part of what we do, especially because we also entail right away the second service that we call Think Visual, which operates during production and post-production to create all materials that are classic, like trailers, posters, asset lockers for social media, making ofs that are useful, etc. And this is crucial to, first of all, work timely for several creative and technical and strategical reasons. And without this anticipation, it's very unlikely it is successful. Simple stuff like photo shoots are so crucial to create important and meaningful marketing afterwards, and these are so difficult to do after principal photography is ended.
But speaking
So
of digital assets, just before I forget, you were speaking.
mhm.
I found I worked in the film before I disappear, and like usually, and I have all sorts of clients, so I don't primarily work in the film industry. But usually, it's so hard to get visual assets. But when you work with a film client, I mean, they have the best at the highest production level. Doesn't that make your job a little bit simpler? I found that amazing, and they don't even themselves almost realize the wealth of visual content that they have available to them.
Yes, absolutely. Uh, I think it is because there's a culture in producers that their work is to finance a film, while in many other sectors, the actual product shaping involves marketing. And they don't realize up to what extent this is important because of that culture of their own vision and their focus on finding resources all around, which takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
So once they understand that and they see the difference in the first marketing products, they start to shift their minds. And we do a lot of work in that sense, also on a pedagogical level, to uh, build this seed in different generations of producers. So that does make a difference, but it is never simple to that they are able to allocate a budget early on, and also take this time and this expertise at the right moment.
Very true. I agree with that. So in terms of some of your clients, the project you're most proud of, or the ones that were the most exciting, can you share some of those?
Oh, that's a difficult one.
Oh,
Um, I personally like a lot the work we do for Sharad's films in the international sales space, because it's a company that gives us a lot of creative freedom, and we have been able to do really like original work for some films, like I Lost My Body, for example, which is an animation, French animation, where we did an alternative marketing action in Cannes, which led to the film being bought by Netflix worldwide.
well
So
done.
that's a nice, like a nice outcome from creative
Best
work.
possible outcome.
Uh,
Yeah.
yes, and it's really nice to also get that feedback. And at the same time, sometimes we have been doing like super effective work in consultancy or in social media for films like Flow, that is now Oscar nominated, that
Awesome.
won the Golden Globe just a few days ago. For Armand, that it's also Camera d'Or, for Vermilio, who has a Silver Lion. So all of this work that we do on the digital voice of charades really pays for them to kind of capitalize on all that success and keep spotting interesting projects. So for me, it's really a pleasure. We work really nicely with a lot of sales agents who have been able to understand our work and shape it on their own way. And I also enjoy a lot the work we do with distributors when they have time to work creatively in Spain, where they really give us freedom to involve influencers, alternative marketing actions, or interviews and things like this. So it's always creativity where there's a sense of success, and where and also when we are aware that our clients reach their goals through that work.
Yeah. Final question. How does the European film industry differ from the United States film industry?
Oh, in many ways. First of all, the structure of the companies changes the entire mindset and how marketing is done. Basically, as we all know, the system of the US is anchored in the majors way of thinking, where there are multinationals all across the world, and let's say the film don't need to leave the space of the same company to be distributed. So although across 100 years there were like 7 to 10 companies managing 80% of the box office worldwide, and that evolves in many directions, but having like an absolute control of the top 20. In the last decade, we have seen that this model gets reproduced also with the streamers, and there are more players around, but it's basically the same kind of thinking and of company structure, which is super effective, and it's a great machine. With independence, it's all fragmented. So, as I was saying, there are a lot of gaps in between. That also has some advantages in terms of the care that these independent
And
players give
creative
to films.
control, I would say, as well. From what I saw when IFC wanted to market Before I Disappear, but my agency was hired to market it. It was quite different from all the other work IFC was doing for some of their films. It almost, do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Absolutely, you are right, and I think that the freedom also comes from the fact that being independent, the production and sales agents companies can give their freedom to unleash their passion for cinema, and sometimes know that these are contents that won't make a lot of money but still are worth it. So all of this is super valuable. What could be like the best of the two worlds is that marketing wise there's more integration towards what the majors do, to support precisely the authors doing their work. Like there's no need to make independence in the marketing per se, and that could be more integrated in many ways.
Yeah. I think that's really, really good advice for everyone in the film industry. Sarah, thank you so much. This was fascinating,
Oh,
and
thank you.
hopefully meet you in person soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mariana, for the